I found the recording by accident. It was late, the kind of night when silence feels heavy, pressing into your ears until you can hear your own pulse. I was searching for an invoice on my wife's laptop, something simple, mindless. I clicked the wrong file. A voice memo opened. Her voice. You must deal with my husband once and for all. He must not interfere with our affair. Then, silence. The air left my lungs in one violent exhale. My body went rigid, like I'd been struck. The words echoed, distorted, looping, a sentence that didn't belong to my world. For a moment, I convinced myself it was a joke. A movie line. Something she was practicing for a script. She'd done voiceovers before. That had to be it. But then, another voice, lower, male, familiar in a way that made my stomach twist. Consider it done, he said. And then, the click of the recorder stopping. I stared at the screen, my reflection faint in the black glass. My mind replayed every moment from the past few months. Her sudden late nights, the muted calls, the smell of a man's cologne that wasn't mine. No. She couldn't. Not her. For the next 2 days, I said nothing. I watched her, the way she smiled at me in the mornings, the way she brushed past me at the door, distracted but affectionate. She laughed at my jokes. Kissed me on the cheek. Cooked dinner. If guilt lived anywhere in her, she'd buried it deep. I tested the waters. You've been busy lately, I said one night, keeping my tone light. Work's insane, she replied easily, chopping vegetables. New clients. You know how it is. Her voice was calm, fluid, too fluid. My wife had always been an average liar. I could tell when she was hiding something. But now, she was perfect. That terrified me more than anything. The next day, I copied the audio file onto a USB drive and slipped it into my wallet. It was my proof, though of what, I wasn't sure. Murder plot. Infidelity. Madness. I couldn't go to the police. Not yet. I didn't even understand what I'd heard. So I decided to find out. Her phone was always locked, but her iCloud wasn't. A few minutes of careful searching, and I had her synced data on my computer. Messages, photos, locations. The name Dee appeared again and again in her texts. No last name. Miss you already. Next time, we shouldn't risk being seen near the hotel. Don't worry. He suspects nothing. My throat went dry. But the message that followed chilled me to the bone. After tomorrow, he won't be a problem anymore. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay beside her, the moonlight spilling across her face, highlighting every innocent feature, the woman I married, the one I thought I knew. I wanted to shake her awake and demand answers. Instead, I watched. And waited. At 2:37 a.m., she stirred. Slowly, carefully, she slipped out of bed. I followed. She crept downstairs, barefoot, phone pressed to her ear. I heard her whisper. Yes, he's asleep. No, tomorrow is better. Yes, make sure he's alone. I didn't hear the rest. I couldn't. I backed away before she saw me, my heart hammering so hard I thought it would wake the dead. Morning came like a punishment. She smiled, poured my coffee, asked about my plans for the day, like nothing had happened. I stared at her hands, at the simple gold band on her finger. I wanted to ask, who are you? But I said nothing. Instead, I decided to play along. When she left for work, I followed. She didn't go to the office. She drove to a run-down warehouse district at the edge of town, the kind of place no one went unless they wanted to disappear. I parked 2 blocks away and watched her car vanish behind a row of old shipping containers. Minutes later, a man appeared. Tall, muscular, with a scar under his jaw. Dee. They embraced. Then kissed. That part didn't hurt as much as I expected. I think I was already numb. But what came next, that tore through me. He handed her a small brown envelope. She opened it, scanned whatever was inside, then nodded. I saw her lips move, barely audible from where I sat, but I read them clearly. Tomorrow, at the bridge. The bridge. That's where I jog every morning. She knew that. I felt something collapse inside me. The betrayal was no longer emotional, it was physical. It had weight, gravity. She wasn't just unfaithful. She was planning something darker. That night, I loaded my pistol, the one I kept for home security, and waited. Not for revenge, but for survival. The next morning, I ran my usual route, deliberately, visibly, past the same bridge. Every step felt heavy, soaked in dread. A car pulled up near the bend. Black. Windows tinted. I slowed. Pretended to check my watch. The door opened. Dee stepped out. He scanned the path, hand in his jacket. Before I could react, a voice rang out behind me. Daniel. My wife. Running toward us. She looked terrified, genuinely terrified. Stop, she shouted, eyes fixed on him. For a second, I didn't understand. Then Dee turned. His hand came out of his jacket, glinting metal in the sunlight. A gun. Everything exploded in that moment. I dove for cover. A shot cracked through the morning air, echoing off the river. Birds scattered. When I looked up, Dee was on the ground, blood spreading beneath him. My wife stood over him, my pistol in her shaking hands. Later, at the police station, the truth unfolded in fragments, pieces of a nightmare stitched together by disbelief. She'd been having an affair, yes. But when she tried to end it, Dee had threatened her. The recording was him forcing her to play along, to make it sound like she wanted me dead, insurance in case she went to the police. She'd stayed silent, afraid, trying to find a way out. Until that morning. Until she saw him move for his gun first. Weeks have passed. The house is quiet now, too quiet. She's alive. Free. The police ruled it self-defense. But I can't bring myself to look at her the same way. Every time I hear her voice, I remember that line, that recording, the sound of betrayal before the explanation. Love, once fractured, never fits the same again. She sleeps beside me every night, breathing softly. And I lie awake, staring into the dark, wondering which version of her is real, the one who saved my life, or the one who nearly destroyed it.